Okay, so we all know and love avocados, right? But what about the part we just toss out? The leaves. Well, it turns out they're hiding a massive secret, one that could either be a lifesaver or, believe it or not, a deadly poison.
It's this crazy paradox. You've got these leaves being used for centuries in traditional medicine, but at the same time, the veterinary world is screaming, danger. So what's the real story here? Are they a superfood or a serious threat?
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at the healing promise of these leaves. Then, we'll get into the whole deadly toxin side of things. We'll figure out why it's both a cure and a poison. And finally, we'll break down what all of this means for you.
All right, let's dive into our first section. We're going to see how this traditional remedy has suddenly found its way into the modern science spotlight.
Yeah, you got to remember, long before we were all obsessed with avocado toast, ancient cultures like the Aztecs and Mayans were way ahead of us. They were brewing these leaves into teas. And this wasn't just for fun, it was a core part of their traditional medicine. And when you look at the claimed benefits, it's pretty incredible. We're talking about being rich in antioxidants, helping with digestion, even boosting your immune system. But the big one, the one that's really getting attention now, is its traditional use for managing high blood pressure.
And get this, modern science is starting to go, hey, maybe there's something to this. A study on rats with high blood pressure showed that an extract from these leaves caused their systolic pressure to drop by almost 69 points. That is a massive drop, and it really lends some weight to those traditional claims.
So what makes the leaf so special? Well, research has actually confirmed that the leaf has the highest antioxidant activity in the entire plant. We're talking more than the peel and definitely more than the pulp we eat. But this is where the story takes a turn. That same power has a really dark side.
Okay, let's switch gears, because now we have to talk about the other side of the avocado leaf. And it's a stark, stark warning.
So the big question is it safe for everyone? And the answer, for a whole lot of animals, is a resounding and pretty terrifying no. And the difference here is just wild. On one side, you've got humans brewing it into wellness teas. On the other, for many animals, eating this very same leaf can cause something called myocardial necrosis. That literally means their heart muscle tissue dies. It's incredibly severe.
And this isn't just some fringe theory. The MSD Veterinary Manual, which is basically the Bible for vets, is super clear about this. They say that while the whole plant can be a problem, the leaves are, without a doubt, the most toxic part for animals.
And just look at this list of animals at risk. It's a lot. You've got livestock like cattle, goats, and horses, but you also have common household pets like rabbits and guinea pigs. And birds seem to be especially vulnerable. Parakeets, canaries, cockatiels. It's a huge warning sign for pet owners. So that brings us to the big question. How? How can one single leaf be both a cure and a poison? Well, the answer isn't some kind of magic. It all comes down to chemistry. Right. The best way to think about it is that the leaf is this complex chemical cocktail. It's not just one thing. It's packed with all these different powerful compounds. And that's the key. It contains two very different types of compounds. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the poison part. This is a compound called persin. It's this fatty acid-like toxin, and it's the culprit behind that heart muscle death and other really serious issues in animals. But then you have the cure part. These are compounds called flavonoids, like quercetin. These are the good guys. They're the beneficial antioxidants that science has linked to all those positive effects for humans, like lowering blood pressure. So that's the whole secret. The leaf is a chemical cocktail packed with both the good stuff, like flavonoids, and the bad stuff, persin. It's not one or the other, it's both at the same time. The effect it has completely depends on the biology of who is consuming it. All right, so after all that science, let's get practical. What does this actually mean for you? Let's boil it all down. Okay, let's make this super clear. Step 1, for any pet owners out there, avoid. Just avoid. Keep the whole plant, especially the leaves, far away from your pets. The risk is just too severe. Step 2, for humans, be informed. The science does show that some of those traditional claims have real merit, especially for things like blood pressure. And that brings us to the bottom line. Context is everything. A single plant can be medicine for one species and a poison for another. It all depends on who's eating it. And that really leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought, doesn't it? As science keeps getting better at unlocking the secrets of plants, you have to wonder,
Could we one day isolate the good from the bad? Could we harness all the benefits of something like an avocado leaf without any of the risks? It's a cool idea to think about.